We are working on language arts. So everyone needs to get their sheet out with their sentence. Whoa. So, I have two really fun Jan Brett books. I have The Hat, and I have The Gingerbread Boy. Well, I can read one tomorrow. Which one should I read first? The Gingerbread Boy, or it's The Gingerbread Baby? The Gingerbread Baby, and then we will work on our rewrite. So many books to share from Jean Brett. She's so awesome. So this is The Gingerbread Baby, which is really funny. But it's not really Christmassy. I was like, initially I'm like, it's kind of Christmassy, but you don't have to make gingerbread just on Christmas. So again, notice the illustrations. Do you see similarities from our other books? All right, well, I'll walk around. Again, we have the little windows at the side that is going to be giving us clues. So let's start. It was cold outside. It was warm inside. A fine day for gingerbread, Maddie thought. Maddie's mother put the big blue bowl on the table and lit the stove. Maddie took down the worn-looking cookbook with old-fashioned writing on the cover. He opened it up to the page that said, Gingerbread Boy. Yum, yum. Who has made gingerbread before? Yum. I can just smell it. It's got the best smell. I love the smell of ginger. They measured and mixed. Maddie rolled the dough into the shape of a gingerbread boy, and they popped him in the oven. Bake a full 8 minutes. No more, no less. Do not peek, the recipe read. Maddie listened to the clock. Tick, tock, tick, tock. What is that an example of? Say it. That's right. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3, 4, 5. How much does he have to have it in? How many minutes?
8.
Maddie couldn't wait any longer. At 5 minutes, he opened the door and took a peek. Instead of a gingerbread boy, out jumped a gingerbread baby. He pranced around the big blue bowl. I am the gingerbread baby, fresh from the pan. If you want me, catch me if you can.
Oh, yeah, gingerbread's
Uh-oh.
Gingerbread's really fast.
Maddie's mother reached for the gingerbread baby to put him back into the oven, but he ran all around the kitchen. The door opened, and in came Maddie's father. What's that delicious smell, he asked, as the gingerbread baby tumbled through his legs and outside into the yard. Uh-oh. So we see a picture of the gingerbread baby running with a cat watching him. See that? There's the cat. What do you think that means? That might be a little case of foreshadowing. He ran by the tabby cat. She twitched her tail and sprang at him. They rumbled and tumbled, but the gingerbread baby came out on top. Oh, look at, he's riding the cat. He ran toward the garden wall. The dog caught a whiff of the tasty ginger and sniffed along behind him. But the gingerbread baby was halfway up the wall when the dog caught up. He barked and barked as the gingerbread baby climbed over the wall. Maddie was still inside. He heard his mother and father yelling. He heard the cat meowing and the dog barking. And he heard the gingerbread baby shouting, "Catch me if you can!" Maddie opened up the worn-looking cookbook for the second time. Meanwhile, The gingerbread baby wheeled on down the path and into the barn. The goats looked up as he somersaulted across their backs. The last one tried to catch him, but the gingerbread baby was too fast. Oh my goodness, he's creating quite the havoc, isn't he?
Yeah, those are horses.
Those are goats. Yes,
If I was there, I'd just be crying, saying that I just want my gingerbread man.
Martha and Madeline were standing by the well when the gingerbread baby stopped to take a drink. They looked at each other and winked. Martha started to talk to him while Madeline tiptoed up behind him with the bucket. But they couldn't fool that gingerbread baby. Oh my goodness. He took a braid from Martha and a braid from Madeline and tied them in a knot and ran down the road.
Oh, wow.
Back in the house, Maddie stirred, mixed, and rolled the dough. He shaped it, put it in the pan and into the oven. Tick-tock, tick-tock, 8 long minutes. This time he didn't peek. I will catch him if I can, Maddie said to himself. Ooh, what do you think he's making? As he was bouncing along, the gingerbread baby saw a farm wagon just ahead. He jumped in and settled down for the ride, next to Mama Pig. The smell of gingerbread was too much for her, and she tossed him high in the air, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. But the gingerbread baby twisted in the air and came down hard on her porky snout. I am the gingerbread baby, too quick for mother and father, too fast for the cat, dog, and goats, too clever for Martha and Madeline, too smart for the Mama Pig. Who's left? Catch me if you can. Feeling smug, the gingerbread baby strolled along by himself until he came to a bridge that crossed over to the village. Just as he got to the middle, he heard running feet behind him and saw a crowd of villagers ahead of him. The gingerbread baby was trapped. He jumped up onto the railing, backflipped through the air, and landed on a chunk of ice floating down the river. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of, The ice bobbed along the gingerbread baby as the gingerbread baby danced on top and singing in a loud voice. Look at me, and what do you see? The best gingerbread baby ever! Until his feet got cold and he jumped ashore. Who was watching from the trees? It was the fox. He crept up behind the gingerbread baby, ready to eat him up. But the fox couldn't help himself, and he licked his chops. Smack, smack! Onomatopoeia. The gingerbread baby heard him and ran as fast as he could. Just when the fox was catching up, the gingerbread baby saw the milk and cheese man with his can of milk. The perfect hiding place, he thought. He lifted the lid and lowered himself inside. He was so pleased that he sang at the top of his gingerbread voice. Ha ha, hee hee, you'll never find me. I'm the gingerbread baby. Catch me if you can. The milk and cheese man heard the gingerbread baby's voice. Who is meddling with my milk? He shouted and lifted the lid. But the gingerbread baby was ready. He jumped up and tweaked his nose.
What does that mean?
He pinched it.
Oofy. Oof.
He is a silly gingerbread baby. Now the milk and cheese man, the fox, the villagers, the Mama Pig, Martha, Madeline, the bleeding goats, the barking dog, the meowing cat, the father and the mother were all after the gingerbread baby and getting closer, and he knew it. The brash baby was not as peppy and proud as he had been. He sniffed a familiar smell. Ooh, what is that? He couldn't believe what he saw. There in the middle of a clearing was a gingerbread house, frosted with sugar, covered with candy, with doors with peppermint handles. Wide open. The gingerbread baby clapped his hands with glee. and ran inside. Who made the house? In a tick and a tock, everyone arrived in the clearing, but all they found were a few bits of frosting, a peppermint candy, and some crumbs. The father exclaimed, "The gingerbread baby has finally met his match." "I wonder who it was," the mother said. "Let's go home and tell Maddie." "Hello, Maddie," his father said when they got home. "We never did catch that gingerbread baby. All we found were some crumbs in the snow." "I see you have been busy," his mother said, looking at the gingerbread house Maddie was holding. "Too bad we never caught that gingerbread baby." "Too bad," said Maddie. Only Maddie could hear the tiny voice from inside the gingerbread house. "I'm the gingerbread baby, lucky as can be to be living in the house that Maddie made for me." So, he did not get eaten, thank goodness. Can't say nobody tried.
Yeah, they tried to get him.
They tried.
I have two.
All right, friends. Now, you are going to do your first rewrite of your sentence. So, the sentence is, "I really need those boots," I said reassuringly to the twins. So, an idea, "I really need those boots," I insisted reassuringly to the twins. So this is going to be a very, very small rewrite because it's a small sentence, and I would like for you to keep, but I want you to change only, let's see. This gives you an example of just changing "I said" to "I insisted." So you can change, I want you to change that action of, instead of saying "said," use a different word to exclaim, for an exclamation, or an exclamation of how you said it. I said reassuredly, I yelled reassuredly. You can use whatever you want. And you can change boots if you want. But we're not going to change it a lot. Tomorrow you can change the whole thing, but just change boots and how you said, "I said reassuredly." You can change "said." So it's just going to be a tweaking and not a complete revision. Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Small little things. Yes, Grayson.
Can we change twins?
No.
Okay.
Boy.
Which wood do we need to keep?
What? We're writing the revision of the sentence.
But which wood do we need to keep?
Oh, you need to keep everything except you're changing "said," and you can change boots if you want.
Oh, okay.
Sam. Yeah. So not a big revision, which I think is harder for you because you guys like to change everything because it's more creative. But this is, this is not a huge change. This is just a little revision, a little tweak. You can change "need" too. Just looking at different options. I will come back when they are reading so you can listen.